the left, we have 5,200 McDonnell Douglas F-4 Phantoms that were built during its full production run. Retired from the United States Air Force in 1996, they've come back with a vengeance. Ladies and gentlemen, from Tyndall Air Force Base in Florida, the 82nd Aerial Target Squadron, the F-4 Phantom II. By Lieutenant Colonel Wayne Chitmon. These aircraft, in their rebirth, are totally outfitted with remote control piloting capabilities. They are being reborn to live out their service life at the pointy end of a surface-to-air or air-to-air missile. These, ladies and gentlemen, being flown by Lieutenant Colonel Wayne Chitmon now, actually are target drones and will be shot down. The United States Navy, the United States Marine Corps, and the United States Air Force. It was the only airplane that was flown by both the United States Navy Blue Angels and the United States Air Force Thunderbirds. It is a remarkable airplane that can get up to 2.5 times the speed of sound. 2 crew members, and boy oh boy did they use it to great effect during the Vietnam War. Look to the left. Down at Tyndall Air Force Base in Florida and out at Holloman Air Force Base, these Cube F-4Es that are outfitted for remote piloting capability are flown regularly and will become targets of missiles.
The night gun is all backwards.
The F-4 entered service with the United States Navy. Was then also used by the Air Force. It was capable of carrying over 16,000 pounds of ordnance. And keep your eyes on the left, because what we're going to see, I should say on the right, because the Phantom is going to come through very, very slow. And then Lieutenant Colonel Chitmon will shove both of those throttles forward and accelerate out, and you will hear indeed the sound of freedom. During day-to-day missions, as the remote control pilots do their practicing, officers like Wayne Chitmon and others will sit in the front seat, hands-free as safety pilots, just in case something goes wrong with a remote control capability and control system and the data link, which allows it to be flown from the ground. They will then take over the controls. But ladies and gentlemen, one of over 5,200 Phantoms built, the QF-4E is Phantom. The current Air Force air superiority fighter is the F-16 Fighting Falcon. Take a look from the 20th Fighter Wing at Shaw Air Force Base in Sumter, South Carolina. It's the F-16 Viper. And the controls, a 129 engine that gives it 30,000 pounds of thrust. It actually has a greater than 1-to-1 thrust to weight ratio. Here comes the Viper from the right. First introduced into Air Force service in 1979, it was the electric jet. The pilot sits reclined at 30 degrees to better withstand the immense G-forces that this aircraft is capable of withstanding. He also has a side stick controller, which at the time was unique to jet aircraft. He has a very, very great seat in terms of his visibility and the ability to turn it on a dime. Call sign Thorr. Watch as Brian Congdon approaches from the left. You see the light on the bottom of the airplane. That indicates that the landing gear is down as he comes in for his slow speed pass. In a moment, he'll shove the throttles forward and you will see the light up of the afterburner, that glow in the tailpipe with raw jet fuel being poured into the exhaust to give it a kick in the pants to get into a fight or out of a fight. Oh, it's the crazy train! Set up for the United States Air Force Heritage Flight. If you will, look behind you. To the left, you see Brian Congdon diving down. On the right, in the F-4 Phantom II, the QF-4E, Lieutenant Colonel Wayne Chitmon. Ladies and gentlemen, from the right, here comes the Viper for the dedication pass. Coming in from behind you, let's check this rejoin. The Vietnam era QF-4 Phantom. The Phantom II, built by McDonnell Douglas. As I mentioned, about 5,200 of these aircraft were built. Approaching that number, with over 4,000 F-16s having been built, combined with over 9,000, it still does not approach the kind of numbers that aircraft were produced in World War II. The P-51 Mustang, arguably the best fighter of all of World War II, at least by those who flew it, had a production number that exceeded 15,000. The heavy bomber, the B-24 Liberator, by Consolidated, was built in numbers in excess of 18,000. In all, American production of aircraft exceeded 300,000 planes of all types and varieties during that war. Now, with the capabilities, it's way, way less. Takes fewer airplanes to do the same job and fewer people to do. Well, let me take a moment to explain what you are about to see. In 1997, the leaders of Air Combat Command assembled a select group of retired military and civilian performers to celebrate the 50th anniversary of the United States Air Force. From this gathering was born the Heritage Flight, a unique visual representation of the Air Force's history from the days of the Army Air Corps to the present. What started out as a one-time event has grown in popularity and demand, and now heritage flights are performed at air shows and special events in the United States and around the world. Flying in formation today, a Vietnam-era F-4 Phantom II piloted by Lt.Col Wayne Chitmon, and a United States Air Force F-16 Fighting Falcon piloted by Major Brian Congdon. Ladies and gentlemen, please look to the right for the first pass of your United States Air Force Heritage Flight. The music you are listening to was written by Wayne O'Brien of the band Little Texas, and it is entitled We Remember. Flight to all military veterans in attendance, whose sacrifices over the years have helped preserve America's freedom. We hope you enjoy watching this rare formation of classic and current United States Air Force aircraft on our journey from heritage to horizons. Ladies and gentlemen, it's your United States Air Force Heritage Flight. As the formation approaches from behind the spectator area and overhead. Pass 3 of the Heritage Flight. To the left, inbound, Lt.Col Wayne Chitmon in the F-4 Phantom II from the Vietnam era, capable of Mach 2.5, 2.5 times the speed of sound. Once again, it's Phantoms forever. to the left, here comes Major Brian Congdon in the F-16 Fighting Falcon from the 20th Fighter Wing at Shaw Air Force Base at Sumter, South Carolina. We're going to get a chance to see them do another pass each. This will be a great time to take some pictures. The F-4 Phantom II, again, the only airplane flown by both the United States Navy Blue Angels and the United States Air Force Thunderbirds. There are about 35 or so Phantoms remaining at Tyndall Air Force Base as part of this aerial target squadron, and another 35 or 40 out at Holloman Air Force Base in Alamogordo, New Mexico. They will all see the pointy end of a live missile, and they will give up their life, finally, as targets. And after the Phantoms are all gone, guess what airplane they're going to next? Is the original A model of the F-16 Fighting Falcon. So the early models of this airplane are going to be targets as well. The song that you heard, We Remember, that was written by Dwayne O'Brien, was brought to us at an air show about 15 years ago down near Nashville, Tennessee. He walked up to us at the trailer and said, "Hi, my name's Dwayne. I'm from the band Little Texas. I got a CD here and a song I wrote about the warbirds. You might want to give it a listen." We did. Started using it the next week, and within 2 years it had become the official anthem of the United States Air Force Heritage Flight. Dwayne came to our International Council of Air Shows convention in Las Vegas, Nevada in last December, and he sang that song live for us and with a video that he had put together. Those bagpipes that you heard at the beginning and the end, he had 6 pipers in the studio at the same time playing that. He said it was one of the most overwhelming and huge, wonderful sounds he'd ever heard in his life. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to bring him into land. You can take a look at the Phantom. It was designed first for the Navy and designed to be flown aboard aircraft carriers with those controlled crashes, and then was used by the Air Force, and they flew them a little differently.
Same size as the old one.
Watch the F-16 as it touches down. Watch the F-16 landing. See how Thorr keeps the nose wheel off? He's actually using the fuselage and the wings as a brake. It's called aerodynamic braking. Typically, the F-4 Phantom would have released a drogue chute to help slow it down, but it's not necessary because we've got a huge long runway here at Oceana. We're going to taxi these airplanes by, give you a chance to wave, give you a chance to see them, and in a few moments we'll be bringing Otto the helicopter in front stage center for his